My name is S. Craig Zahler. I am a novelist and musician, and as of 2014, a film director as well. It took about 3 years to get the movie made, but I am promoting a movie, Bone Tomahawk, that I wrote and directed. And yeah, it's a Western, a deliberately paced and character-focused Western that it's classical in some regards, and then really is not at all when you meet the opposition in the movie, and it gets pretty dark with horror elements. We got an amazing cast with Kurt Russell, Matthew Fox, Richard Jenkins, Lily Simmons, Patrick Wilson, David Arquette. A lot of amazing people came on because they really believed in the script. And but the budget was very small. The shoot was very fast. It was under $2 million, and we shot it in 21 days. And it's a Western with maybe 70 locations, and it's a 133-minute movie. So a very intense shoot to get a movie like this done in this period of time. Obstacles are pretty much everything. I mean, this is the 5th Western I've written after a couple of my last 2 were novels that did pretty well for me, and it's just a genre I wanted to do, but it's a genre that people don't think is commercially viable. So in terms of getting funding for this, the producer for the movie, Dallas Saunier, who is my manager and also my friend, he put down a lot of money, and then a lot of money was raised in Europe, which it seems sort of odd that you have a Western that has absolutely no American companies backing it, but such was the case. And such was the case partially because people wanted a degree of creative control and to change things about the script and make it more commercial, and I wasn't really open to almost any of that. And so that was how we got it funded this way, but it took actors staying on board for a period of 2.5 years or so, until the production time to make it happen.
How much pressure is on you right now? Because
right now, very little compared to actually rolling into production. I mean, right now I can talk about the obstacles, and the end product is there, and I'm very, very proud of it. Certainly, given more time and more money, I would have been more critical and been able to get 100% of what I wanted, or closer to it, if not 100%. But I'm very, very proud of what we were able to accomplish. And the pressure was day one of that shoot, going into that, where, with the exception of Dallas Saunier and maybe some members of the cast, but maybe not even them, no one really believed we would be able to do this movie in this time. So I had all the key crew people coming up to me prior to the shoot, letting me know that this was impossible and it would never happen, up until the shoot began. And so the first day of the shoot, my goal was finish early, show everybody it can be done no matter what, and we finished early, and I just watched the perspectives change on that day, and we made the movie happen in that amount of time.
Historically, Western movies are brilliant. So what's your passion about it? Why do you believe in this so much?
Westerns, I mean, one of the reasons I, read fiction, write fiction, watch movies, now I've made one, and I made others as a cinematographer, is I like art, in particular these experiences, to be transporting. And so good Western is an adventure tale, and so you go on the adventure with them, and then because it's taking place 100 years ago or more, you're also going back in time. So those are some of the appealing aspects to it, and then just the kind of characters you get in Westerns, and the relationships that they have with one another is also something I enjoy. So it plays to my strengths as a writer, and it's just also stuff I just really enjoy watching.
Can we talk about costume?
We can. I don't know how articulate my answers will be, but Chantal Filson was the head of our costume department, and her job was nearly impossible. She was literally trying, outfitting people and doing stuff in hotel hallways and in the parking lot, just because we're doing a period piece that had probably in the end about 30 characters, and she had to outfit these people and have multiple outfits for them, as some of them are injured or have just costume changes. And so getting all authentic stuff was her job, and and we had discussions, and then there were discussions I had with each of the actors in terms of their apparel, and some people had stronger opinions than others. But it's certainly in a Western, if it you need to be authentic, and so every little bit is researched. There's no boot, there's no jacket, or no belt that didn't exist at the time, and every last bit really needs to be right. You don't want to have this gigantic experience invalidated by a costume that isn't correct.
A lot of our followers watch film to be inspired by what they're wearing, so it's important to get this right.
Certainly, and you'll see that the Matthew Fox character, John Bruder, is certainly the dapper gentleman of the bunch, and a guy, he's a wonderful performer and did a great job in this movie, and is giving you a very different side of Matthew Fox, and one that thus far has really impressed people. And some of that comes from him, and some of it comes from the writing, and some of it comes from what he's wearing. And you'll see a person wearing that much white and those kind of tails getting off of a horse and walking around town. It's a different thing, and it's striking and sets him apart.
What was the most challenging part of your 21 days? A part of like.
A part of the entire, stepping back from the entirety of the shoot, horses don't hit their marks. You really want them to, but they don't. That's a challenge. But to have a day where you have firearms and there are firearm problems and multiple stunts, and some of these are dangerous, and multiple special effects, and a lot of these are tricky to pull off, and action choreography, and you need to make sure that this is safe. So just trying to get all of that going in a day, some of those were our most difficult days.
I interviewed Sir John Hurt, and I asked him what happens, and this is not to do with you, but if the actor isn't really buying into your story, how do you what?
I never ever had to deal with that in this movie, because everyone came on because they bought into the story. Again, it's like David Arquette is coming on for basically minimum wage, and these other guys who have the leading roles really got terrible paydays, and they came on because of the script. So that wasn't ever an issue here. I mean, that's how I got the first movie made, and how I got all these people attached, was because they believed in it. And I didn't have to convince anybody really about anything.
It must give you confidence.
Yeah, and I tried to give them some confidence in me as a director, because I have a lot more experience writing than directing, obviously.
Beards are a real big thing on men's style fashion. Is this your normal look?
This is my, I'm wearing a black t-shirt and jeans. I'm a metalhead, and so I'm wearing, here I've got an Angelwood shirt. I've got a large supply of heavy metal t-shirts and wrestling t-shirts and t-shirts for movies and things that I like. That's basically just how I do it.
Your most inspirational film director, like
Sidney Lumet. He is. That's really where I learned, because a lot of people will point to all these very stylish directors, like a Hitchcock kind of guy, and this is someone who I think really kind of skewed the direction. The definition of a director is someone who's doing a lot of these stylistic tricks. But Sidney Lumet, whether his movies look great or whether they look kind of ordinary, the content is always there, and you see that, like, really what matters most is that the script is there to begin with, and then the performers are delivering it, and you capture it on the set, and that all the other stuff is great and can enhance the movie-going experience. But if that stuff isn't there, it's not likely to work.
How do you know when your script is complete? How do you feel it? You know it's the gift? Because I think film directors, we really underestimate the talent you guys really have. The reality is, I think there are more people who could have directed Bone Tomahawk than written it, and I try and. My process is one of surprising myself as a writer every day. So a lot of things happen that I didn't anticipate, and in the case of knowing something is done, I don't move on from a day's work until I'm happy with it. So when I'm finished, that's pretty much going to be how the piece is in the end. And I'll go through and clean up dialogue and maybe foreshadow some stuff, but more or less most of my pieces, my published books, the other screenplays I have floating around, that's the story that I told when I wrote that last page. It's pretty much where I landed, because every day I'm trying to come up with stuff I like and stuff that surprises me. Brilliant.
Hope people see Bone Tomahawk. If you enjoy the kind of characterization in there and some of the violent imagery and bizarre stuff that's going on there, I'd certainly encourage people to read some of my books. Rates of the Broken Land being the most similar, another Western with a lot of dark elements, but also I have a crime book called Mean Business on North Ganson Street. If you're into traditional heavy metal, my band Realm Builder has a few albums out, so check that out.
Just one last question. Social media marketing is how I've built my brand.
Right.
You do, on such a low budget, which to me
other people, yeah.
Doesn't seem low to me, but
Right.
Are you using like Facebook, Twitter?
I personally am not. The RLJ is the company promoting the movie, and they're behind all that stuff. And there's a big campaign with that, and Twitter and Facebook and all those sort of things. I don't. I just. I'll post reviews and stuff online, but other than that, I spend so much time writing, and I like my privacy. So in general, I've just stayed away from that stuff because I think if I was on Facebook and dealt with that regularly, I would be slightly less productive, and I like producing a lot of material.
One last thing, your favorite movie? Mine's The Godfather. I love The Godfather.
Godfather's terrific. Let me give you three that are tied for number one: The Wild Bunch, 2001, and Bridge on the River Kwai.